Hi guys, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Friday video report. Two free selections of Major League Baseball coming up in just a moment. Going to look at the Cubs-Brewers showdown at Miller Park, and also undefeated Texas visiting Baltimore. Road opener for the Rangers. Of course, the Orioles off to a 5-1 start. We're going to break that game down for you as well. Did you watch the Celtics-Bulls game last night? I, of course, had a big play, a $15 release on the Bulls, which matches my biggest play the past 2 years, improving to 8-2 with them this year, and I think it's 13-4 the past 2 years combined. But more importantly, you look at that game last night, and that was one of those games where there was no doubt in my mind the Bulls were going to go ahead and win that game and win it decisively. As I noted in my analysis, it was a real step-up game for Chicago, as the Bulls, of course, wanting to wrap up the Eastern Conference race, beating out, or clinching it, coming close to clinching it now, one game to clinch over Boston and Miami. But, you know, in watching that game, what I take away from it is this. You know, these Bulls are going to be damn hard to beat if they've got the home court advantage throughout the eastern side of the playoffs, because they match up so well with the two biggest threats to them advancing to the championship, the Celtics and the Heat. But taking it a step further, you know, the two things that you need to do in the NBA playoffs is be able to play a half-court game, because teams do not run it up and down the floor. They generally do not play up-tempo come playoff time. And you got to have a guard, a point guard, to be able to control the flow, the ebb and flow of the ball game. And they've got that, of course, in Derrick Rose. And, you know, you saw what they did against Boston. The Celtics are not as strong of a team as prior to trading away Kendrick Perkins. I mean, what folly to think that either one of the O'Neals, Shaq or Jermaine, would be back in any type of shape to give them an interior presence. More importantly, who the hell's going to be backing up Kevin Garnett, helping him out down low in the paint? I mean, Glenn Big Davey Davis is okay, but he has his limitations. And then you look at the Miami Heat, you know, and all season long, I've told you, I mean, great rotisserie league team, great if you're in a fantasy league, but, you know, that's not going to cut it with Mike Bibby as your point guard, and this team advancing, I think, very deep in the playoffs despite their experience. And then I look out west, and let's say, look at the Lakers or the Oklahoma City Thunder or the San Antonio Spurs. All those teams have certain problems, and you look at the way the Chicago Bulls can play. I mean, you've got two good rebounders with Noah and Boozer. You've got the unsung hero of that team, or scorer of that team as far as I'm concerned, the guy that most quietly has night in, night out the most efficient games for them, and that's Luol Deng. And then you've got Derrick Rose. Remember how an athletic team that liked to run the floor, like the Thunder, menaced the Lakers last year in that memorable playoff series. Look at the Thunder, even though they have Kendrick Perkins now anchoring the middle, how they are still unable to seemingly hold anybody under 105 points a game. You know, so again, it's going to be matchup problems. And as far as the Spurs go, you know, I don't care how many wins they have this regular season, I still don't think San Antonio was that good come playoff time. It's not like Tim Duncan's going to find the fountain of youth and turn back the clock 8 years come playoff time. Tony Parker has been as inconsistent as he's ever been in his career this year alone. Maybe he had to watch Eva Longoria on David Letterman a couple nights ago. I don't know. Maybe that's bothering him this season. But again, Bulls, pretty damn impressive. Let's get to your free picks. The first one I want to look at is going to be the game between the Cubs and the Brewers. It's going at 8:10 Eastern over at Miller Park. You know, the Cubbies have played extremely well at Miller Park. 6 out of 9 last year, 9-4 their last 13 visits to Milwaukee. And they're going with a guy who might as well make Milwaukee his second home in Carlos Zambrano, who is only 6-0 with a 1.97 earned run average in his last 7 starts in Milwaukee. Now, Zambrano, you know, last year, head case. I mean, is there any better way to say it than that, head case? But, you know, once he rededicated himself, once he got put into the starting rotation late in the season, boy, the guy pitched damn well, and I know I made a lot of money off of him. So I'm willing to take a flyer on him here tonight. He did pitch effectively, giving up 3 runs in 6 innings against Pittsburgh last week, but leaving with an issue of cramps, which has bothered him the last couple of years of his career. Randy Wolf, on the other hand, the Milwaukee starter, well, he was just absolutely shelled at Cincinnati last Sunday, giving up 2 homers and 6 runs in 4 innings of work. 10 hits allowed in those 4 innings of work, and he was 0-2 against the Cubbies a year ago. Cubbies a 3-3 start, but they've averaged about 4.5 runs a game. Meanwhile, the Brewers are coming off 3 straight wins against the Braves, but prior to that they were 0-5. So again, I'm going to go with Zambrano and the Cubbies at Miller Park in this one. Now, the other game, I think, what a great price. You're getting an undefeated team in the Texas Rangers, a team that is 6-0, a team that has scored 42 runs, and you're getting them at like -110 tonight at Baltimore. Okay, the Orioles are 5-1 this season. 3 of those wins came at Tampa. Tampa can't score. Tampa's yet to win. Tampa can't hit, okay? 2 of those wins came against the Detroit Tigers, a team that is 2-4 going in its home opener earlier today. So it's not exactly they're beating up the 27 Yankees night in and night out, although still a much better team and a far more dangerous offensive team than they've been in years past, especially now with Vlad Guerrero, who, of course, did so well as a DH for the Rangers last year, now anchoring the middle of that Orioles lineup. However, I'll still take a shot with the undefeated Texas Rangers here. No, they are not going to go 159-3 this year, but still, they're going with Colby Lewis here tonight. Lewis, of course, scintillating last year in the postseason. He is 5-0 in his last 7 starts with a 2.28 earned run average. That's regular and postseason combined. Pitched adequately last Saturday, giving up 3 runs in 6 innings at home against Boston. Zach Britton, the 23-year-old left-handed rookie going for the Orioles, he gave up 1 run and 1 run, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts in his start and a win against Tampa on Sunday. But again, it's the Tampa Bay Rays, and they aren't hitting anybody this season. So I'll take my shot and go with the Rangers, again, at a bargain basement price. The only undefeated team in baseball, laying $1.10 in their road opener. What, they get out of Arlington and they can't play anymore? And I'll take the the Cubbies at like even or plus $1.05, depending on where you price shop, with Zambrano at Milwaukee. Good luck, everybody, and I will catch you again on Saturday morning.